Are there any reports that Tesla stock buyback is finally taking place? It is nearly impossible to stay up to date on all of the Tesla news that is out there. To learn more about this, be sure to keep watching and tuning in. Almost always in the news is Tesla, primarily due to its contentious CEO, Elon Musk. Most claim that Musk's contentious behavior is really a publicity stunt to help Tesla gain attention. Investors in Tesla were alarmed when Musk recently purchased Twitter stock, sparking a major issue. You will discover today whether or not there is a Tesla stock buyback at last. As the price of Tesla's shares continues to plummet, billionaire Leo Kogoin, who asserts to be the third largest individual shareholder, is urging the automaker to announce a $15 billion stock buyback in May. In a tweet, he wrote, "If I am Professor Leo Kogoin, the third largest individual shareholder of Tesla, and I own more Tesla shares than our work, invest, and bearing capital, please ask Martin Vicha, head of investor relations of Tesla." In response, Martin Vicha, senior director of investor relations at Tesla, tweeted Kogoin saying, "I can confirm this. According to him, the business needs to make its intentions to repurchase $5 billion of Tesla stock this year and $10 billion the following year clear right now." He went on to say that Tesla should fund the repurchase using its free cash flow and not deplete its $18 billion in cash reserves. Kogoin stated in another tweet that Tesla's first quarter free cash flow was $2.02 billion. He continued by saying that after capital expenditures are taken into account, he anticipates it to rise to $8 billion this year and $17 the next year. Additionally, he stated that Tesla may repurchase its cheap stock in addition to investing in additional factories, its Optimus bot, and fully autonomous driving. One strategy used by businesses to try to return capital to shareholders is the stock buyback, in which a publicly traded company uses cash to purchase its own shares on the open market. Tesla's Q2 results call was something that enthusiasts and investors had been looking forward to. Accordingly, they had a few requests that they hoped the aforementioned earnings call had addressed. How is the 4,680 ramp doing, first of all? Secondly, has Giga Texas started to generate sales? Thirdly, when can we expect the Cybertruck to go on sale?
Wow.
Fourth, is a share buyback by Tesla under consideration? Despite being posed at the prior results call, this question went unanswered in order to effectively raise the stock price. Tesla stockholders want the company to buy back its own shares. Investors have been grumbling about the recent decline in Tesla share prices and are hoping for a temporary rebound, and they think that Tesla's stock price can increase if it does in fact buy back its own shares. Tesla officially made available the Q2 2022 earnings call a few days ago following market closure. The EV firm disclosed its financial results and shareholder letter for the second quarter of 2022. Wall Street as a whole anticipated $16.521 billion in revenue and $1.81 per share in earnings before the earnings call. As a result of the sudden shutdown of Gigafactory Shanghai, which resulted in about 250,000 deliveries instead of the much higher than projected 300,000. The projections indicate a rare quarter-over-quarter fall for Tesla. However, the automaker posted revenues of $16.934 billion, or almost $400 million more than Wall Street predicted, and earnings per share of $2.27 non-GAAP versus $1.81 expected by Wall Street, according to the financial data that Tesla recently announced. During the quarter, the company was able to raise its cash position by 8 cents billion to $18. 3 cents billion, we are still making great strides in every area of the business in the second quarter of 2022. During the Q2 earnings call, Tesla said, despite some obstacles such as restricted production and shutdowns in Shanghai for most of the quarter, we managed to achieve an industry best operating margin of 14.6%, a positive free cash flow of $621, and the highest vehicle production month ever at the end of the quarter. Automobile gross margin dropped to 27.9% from 32.9% in the previous quarter and 28.4% in the previous year due to increased competition for battery cells and other parts used in electric vehicles. There's inflation. In addition, the business brought in $344 million in revenue from automobile regulatory credits during the second quarter, according to the company's shareholder presentation. That represents a $10 million or over 3 decrease from the same time in 2021. Tesla's new factory outside of Berlin produced more than 1,000 cars a week in June, according to Musk. And he anticipates that the company's new Austin, Texas factory will do the same in the coming months. Musk stated, I think inflation will decline towards the end of this year in response to questions about inflation, but he also cautioned investors to not put too much stock in that prediction. Austin and Berlin ramp inefficiencies will continue to weigh on our margins for the balance of the year, stated Zachary Kirkhorn of Tesla. However, when we increase the ramp, the effect ought to diminish. The executive stated that Tesla is now observing a declining trend for the majority of commodities that will terminate this year or begin next year. Musk did note that there were certain outliers. Lithium processing is crazy. He declared urging business people to get involved in the lithium refining industry. It is impossible to lose, he declared. It's a license to print money. What do you anticipate from Tesla in the upcoming quarter? Tell us in the space provided for comments below. According to Musk, the protracted downtime of our Shanghai factory made Q2 special for Tesla. It was nevertheless one of the strongest quarters in our history, despite all of these difficulties. Most significantly, we set production records in Shanghai and Fremont in June. To address the first query, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has stated that while 4,680 is not significant for this year, it will be next year. This information is likely of interest to investors. He clarified that as they continue to increase capacity, they've installed the second generation of production equipment for 4,680 cells in Texas, as well as other reputable factories like Fremont and Shanghai. With regard to Autopilot, Musk revealed that more than 100,000 owners have received access to the FSD Bay, which allows for driving on city streets. According to him, the proprietors are delighted with the system's capabilities and the business will keep making weekly improvements. Regarding the eagerly awaited Cybertruck release, Musk stated that they hope to start production of the vehicle by the middle of the following year. According to him, the team's ongoing priorities are some future platform design and getting Cybertruck ready for production. Tesla's chief financial officer, Zachary Kirkhorn, reports that new plants in Austin and Berlin are making good progress through their initial ramps. The Shanghai factory resumed full production, and the Fremont factory, which was assisted by the Reno team, set new production records. Additionally, he stated that although 4,680 is progressing, they are still using supplier cells because they don't have enough of them to ramp Texas and Berlin. By the conclusion, they anticipate boost total 4,680 production to surpass 1,000 units per week. The topic about Tesla stock repurchase was not addressed on the call, despite the fact that many queries from analysts and investors were addressed. As a result, no information on it was provided during the Q2 earnings call. Once more, a stock buyback occurs when a publicly traded firm purchases shares of its own stock on the open market using cash. This could be a company's way of giving money back to shareholders that it doesn't need for operations or other investments. Value in this context refers to an increasing share price. Notwithstanding this, investors in Tesla are advocating for a repurchase of the company's shares, particularly given that the stock is presently trading between $700 and $8,000, up 0.2% over the past 2 weeks. It should be mentioned that both investors and analysts have quite high price assessments. Sadly, despite the desire of investors for an answer, this request was not made and was not addressed at the Q2 earnings call. Naturally, there are other ways to ask that question, particularly given that Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, is virtually always on Twitter and frequently responds to customers' tweets. It's possible that Musk may eventually address this matter. Visit Tesla stock and view our other movies, please.